Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Back to Basics training session run by Kaizen Synergy Law Firm. My name is Nihal Samra. I'm the General Counsel and Legal Director here at Kaizen Synergy Law Firm, and I'd like to welcome you all to today's session. So today's session focuses on document management and specifically the permission levels. This is a back to basics session, so we will be making this a very hands-on session. There are some changes that we have instigated just in the last 2 weeks or so, and for this reason, we are going to cover these off today. As always, we'd like to pay our respects to the elders past and present upon the lands on which we all meet. While the session is being run by webinar and recorded, we do pay our respects to the traditional owners accordingly. So when looking at Gembadocs, we are going to focus on how this actually works in real life and then jump back to the permission levels as well. We do have a few slides just to walk you through, as I do understand that this is an admin level back to basics session. And for this reason, we are just going to go back over some of the setups that Gemba has in terms of its design for your functionality. So firstly, some basics. Gemba is designed on a person's position. So when you look at this, depending on how your organizational structure is based, you may well have a director or CEO at the top here. You may have some executive level managers, and then each manager may have a number of staff that report to that person. Equally, you might also have different teams that work within your agency. These could be quality committees, these could be network groups, these teams could be centralized, decentralized. However, your organizational structure is based, whether that be individual reporting, whether people might report to a number of different managers, it doesn't matter, because Gemba will actually take into account all of your different organizational structures and how this works. Now, as part of that, you will also not only have individual people that report to different other staff, and this might extend into your board members, but you will then also have different teams and groups. So each, let's say, executive director, for example, may form an executive management team, as you can see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Equally, you might have a management group that may then sit within your agency as well too. And then there might be a number of other groups as well. Now, this is not just for big agencies. These could also be for rural the agencies that are in rural areas as well too, or remote areas that are small in their structure. But in saying that, if you are, let's say, a bush nursing centre, for example, or an Aboriginal type service or a community health centre, you will still have different teams within your agency. So you might have a clinical team, or you might have a board of or committee of management. All of those are still teams that you essentially have. So these are all part of how you can actually control who sees what within your agency. Now, keep in mind, we did show you on previous Back to Basics sessions how you can set up teams within your agency itself. So let's have a look at the permission levels on the Gemba dashboard and how you can control these. Now, because you're an administrator, you will get access to the Gembadocs permission levels tab. So if I click on the Gembadocs page, here we are here, it'll bring up something that looks like this for your agency. Now, where you control the permission levels is this slider menu here, and we have purposely hid this away for you. Now, if you're a standard user, you will not see this tab. To look at the permission levels, you can simply click on the cogs, and that will bring up this screen here. Now, you'll see that in this case, I've set it up for this person, Fred Flintstone. Fred Flintstone is the HR and compliance manager who I'm logged into as well. And for this reason, Fred's position comes up. But you can essentially use this to select other people within here as well too. Or equally, you can then see all the teams down the bottom that we've also created for this particular agency. So going back to Fred's role. Now, firstly, there are a different set of permission levels that I can see here. So Fred is the HR compliance manager that we can see here. So really what I really want to give him access to is the policies and procedures, make sure that Fred has right access to all of these. Now, if there was a certain folder that Fred didn't need access to, and let me just bring these up, I will just accordion these back. It might be, for example, the Board of Management section. So in that case, I'm going to give Fred no access to this one directly. You could also have it that there's no committee access as well too. And quite simply, I can save those permission levels. And it's as simple as that. Now, if you wanted to give Fred access, and you can say, yay, it's saved here, permission levels updated. It could also be that, look, there are some documents that I wanted to have read-only access. And you'll see that automatically when I tick read-only, it's going to mark them off as read-only here. Or I could actually make them view-only. Now, the view-only, and this is how you can actually change it to the document level. So I'm controlling it at the category level. I can control it at the folder level, and I can control it at the document level. And I can see that here. Now, if I wanted to, you can see here that the view no access basically means that they won't even see that document. If they go to search for it, they won't even see it. View only means that they can view, that they can actually see it on the screen. They could print it out, but they can't actually view or change anything else out of it. It's a PDF document. The read only is for things like forms where you can actually open it up. It might be a Word document or the likes. They can print it out. They can add into it. And write means that they can change the form altogether and upload a new version of it to Gemba. So you've got 4 different versions of what you can do here. Now, let's say I really wanted to have a look at, and I might actually just to show you something here, no access to the test folder and reference documents that really Fred doesn't need access to. Now, with it, let's have a look at this. If I wanted to go in and let's have a look at all staff team. So I'm going to give the all staff team here, and I'm actually going to have a look at what they need access to. So I don't want to give them access to the volunteer policies, but I am going to give them view access to the, let's say, the policy and procedures to view only. And in this case, no access to the Board of Management and access to the aged care program area. And I can simply click on save this. Now, in the event that there is a higher level permission for the group. So let me show you what happens. Now, in this case, I'm going to say HR manager and compliance manager, Fred. Now, Fred has right access to all of these documents, but I can see here that he's got no access here, but one of the committees that it actually pops out and alerts is that this rule where he's got no access to this is actually overridden by a team rule. So if it shows that Fred has a higher level based on his individual access, then Gemba will tell you about it. Now, if I go in, and it could be quite simply that Fred is part of the, I'll say the Board of Management, and again, that they've got, we want to give them read-write access here, then I can actually mark this up and give them access. So what Gemba will actually show you is where people actually have a higher level permission level based on a team that they are on. And I can see that here. So quite simply, it means then that I can actually control all the permission levels directly from this screen here. The best way to do it, and I've mentioned to a lot of agency staff, is set it up by the all staff team. Have a look. Every agency has an all staff team. You can then mark what you want to give people access to as well too. You can control who's in that team as well too, and you can do it globally as well, which makes it a lot easier to in fact manage. It also means that if I wanted to then set up, let's say, a board of management, or you might have a committee of management, again, that you can then set up, well, then you can select the board of management. I'm going to give them no access actually to everything that we want to see here, except really their board of management folders that I want to have. So if I wanted to give them access, let's say read only, actually I want to give them no access to any of the folders except their board of management folder. Here we are here, and that's it that I'm going to have. So I can set those up, and that'll give them read access. Now, if you're a CEO or center manager or the likes, you might want to have write access to directly everything, and that's how you can simply go in, have a look at your own space here. Here we are here. I'll bring up Fred again, and you can simply give yourself access to it. And that's how you can simply and easily manage your permission levels. So with it, permission levels can be managed that simply directly from your end. I will add that by doing this, it meets your obligations under the Crimes Document Destruction Act by essentially managing all information in this manner as well too. It also means that anything you place on Gemba can then be effectively managed by the right people at the right time as well. You'll find that Gembadocs will link to the compliance calendar, and you can also use it for the notice board. We will look at that over the next week, over the next few weeks, as we look at document signing and also setting up folders in Gemba. Of course, you can access this obviously via your mobile device if you have the permission levels to do so, and it makes it that much easier to manage as well. If you do have any questions, more than happy to stay online and answer these after today's session. If you are watching this recording after this session right now, then by all means, and you do have any questions, then by all means, please reach out to us on 1300 360 360, or you can email us at support@gemba360.com.